plus we talked about the hydrocarbons. We'll come back within a minute. So summary so far. We have talked about the covalent molecular compounds. How do they make the covalent bonds or force? That's because they're very strong.
I just got my schedule.
And you have seen it of 70 to 900 kcals per mole. What are the Lewis-Dot structures?
If you include taxes.
And how to derive the Lewis-Dot structures. What are the three-dimensional structures? That's X foot type, tetrahedral, 109.5, X3 type, 120, and X2 type, linear, 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Right? So, next, what are the characteristics?
Minimum wage,
States
but like, I'm
of
working like 8 hour
metals,
shifts.
gases, liquids, and
Which
solids.
I like working there.
And as you probably know,
It's so
if
fun.
you take any gas, increase the temperature, decrease the temperature, increase the pressure, you can convert gas to liquid, liquid to solid, right?
She did
And
so
what
good
are the
bowling
weak
yesterday,
forces
except for
operating
trying to
within the
run down.
covalent molecules?
That was
Under
the
dispersion
issue.
force, it depends upon the mass, size, shape, etc., etc. It's a non-polar molecule.
Well, I'm sure it was confusing.
Dipole-dipole interactions, DD.
The balls
You're
go
throwing a
Bonds
ball
to
and
dipole,
she wants to
molecular
chase
polar
it.
molecules, and hydrogen bonding. And the order of their strength, hydrogen bond is the strongest, then DD, then LDF. LDF is the weakest, and DDF is the in between. Hydrogen bonding is the strongest. But among these are weak in forces. The strong force is covalent bonds. And then we also talked about what is the polarity, how to determine the polarity.
Minecraft?
Meaning basically how that if you have the bond, if you're considering a bond, En of
Girl,
A,
you have a
sorry,
weed. You should be fine.
bond with the B, En electronegativity of A minus electronegativity of B.
If you have a weed.
That will, if the less than 0.5
I mean,
is
mine's
a
not
non-polar,
like a weed.
1.5 to 1.9 is a
I don't
polar.
even understand.
We're not
that.
going beyond 1.9 because ionic bonds we talked about way earlier. Alright. So last but not the least, of course, another important characteristics of the molecular compound that depends upon the polarity
That was my
is the
practice.
solubility. This is the one I skipped it, so I have to give it to you, okay? So once you know the molecular polarity of the molecules, and that basically leads to the another characteristics, the solubility. Solubility in water, solubility of some other solvents, etc., etc. If you recall, our ionic compounds, when you talked about ionic compounds, we also I gave you the
My mom texts
a
me good
general-
morning every single
general
morning.
list or general principle
One day
of
she was
solubility
texting
of
me,
ionic
she's
compounds.
Yeah,
We
I
do the
know. I
same thing
called
here.
her. I was like, "Are you
Solubility
okay?"
of,
She's like, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "You didn't
molecular
text me
compounds
this
or
morning."
covalent compounds.
She was like, "Oh, I'm
So
sorry, I
solubility of molecular
forgot." I was like,
compounds,
"It's
the general
okay, but I thought
rule
you were
says-
dead because you've done it every
So,
single day since I've been at school."
Solubility means
But she
make a
texted me at
solution.
like 7:40
how do you make a
a.m.
solution?
I'm like,
Take some
don't
solute,
respond until
which is a
sometime
minor
1
component,
p.m.
small amount, and plus solvent, which is a major component. And if it dissolves, it's a solution. Exactly just like ionic compound. If you remember, if you take some sodium chloride, salt, table salt, put in a glass of water, mix it, it's gone. They're not gone, they're there, but it's a soluble. So that's to make the solution. Molecular compounds follow
Girl, we
very
need
similar.
to teach you
They have the same
how
kind of-
to
similar
go
kind
up
of
the
principles
ladder.
and similar kind of properties. So if you have a solute, for example, let's say, if you have a solute, so let's say we are going to underline those three different components: solution, solvent, and the solution and the solution, solute, the molecule that we are going to dissolve in solvent to make a solution. Alright? So if the solute is a polar, and you know how to determine the polarity of the molecule, right?
Just sit in a cage in the back.
The solution is a polar, solute is a polar, solvent is also polar, then polar plus polar. they will
She heard
dissolve,
you say bath.
right?
She was
Dissolves
not
like,
happy.
Right?
Oh
Now
my
you
God,
have a
she
solution.
BHEHS.
If you have a polar
I
solute,
said bitches for a second. I was like, me too, girl. Me too.
then basically it's a no.
I
Right?
don't fuck with that face.
Unlike the things, one is a polar, one is a non-polar. If you have a non-polar solute and a polar solvent,
Because she
Right?
does not even
then also it is no. No means no solution,
Maddie's
no
gone,
solubility.
Sophia is gone.
If you have a
Adam doesn't really
non-polar
talk to her
solvent,
anyways.
non-polar solute and non-polar solvent,
like, doesn't
then
talk to
yes.
her at all, and
So
Bree's
basically
with
what
Abby
you
all the
see
time.
here, the general
Neither of
principle
us
is
talk to her. Molly's not
like
here. May and Taylor
dissolves
don't talk to her either,
like.
and they weren't here.
Like,
She's not friends
like
with
A,
Elena
right?
and Nora.
Dissolves
And Alicia
like.
doesn't come out of her damn
Why?
room, and if
Polar
she
molecules, polar
does,
solute,
it's
polar
to
solvent,
yell at someone for
solution.
something.
Yes, they like each other. Non-polar solute, non-polar solvent,
Alicia
like
has
each other.
Mary's
So
personal.
like dissolves like. Right?
I think
Is also
Mary's
right.
just seems like a
And when
bitch.
you have
Mary's
some
a bitch.
dissimilar
I haven't,
combination,
but, like,
polar,
she-
non-polar,
I'm
or
sorry, but
non-polar,
the
and
entire
polar,
group of friends, all
obviously
she could
those
do
are
is shit
known.
talk people. She
And
didn't
you
do
know how
that.
to determine the polarity
That
of the
was my
molecules,
issue.
right?
But like on the other
All
hand, I
right.
was like, oh,
And
good,
as you
that's
saw
fine.
probably,
So
water
stay
is a
with-
highly polar molecule. We talked about in detail.
likes to drink
Because
a
it
lot,
makes so
yeah.
many hydrogen bonding, a network type of hydrogen bonding, right? A network type of hydrogen bonding that gives the water molecule, although
What?
molecular weight is 18
Oh my
grams
God,
per
that
mole,
teacher was a good lesson.
it is a liquid.
I texted
Because
Caroline. I
of
was
the
like, why'd
network
you
type
leave
of
without
hydrogen
saying
bonding.
goodbye? She goes,
Not only
"You were flat out
liquid,
asleep."
the boiling point,
He's like, I'm sorry.
boiling point of
Like, I had
water
a
is
rough
100 degrees
night.
Celsius,
She snapped
and
at
that
me
is
and
due
she's at
to
home. I was like,
the
"Girl, you
network
left."
type of hydrogen bonding. Alright, given
Come on,
this,
Snapchat me when I'm
now
home. I'm a
we'll
roommate.
go to the, there are some exceptions to the of these
Lazy
general
man.
rules. And I will discuss this one, I just gave you now, and we'll discuss as we go along with it. So if you look at the second paragraph, first paragraph is the polar likes polar, non-polar likes non-polar. That's what's
It's
written.
delicious.
Now, if the molecule has two ends, if the molecule has two ends, one is a polar end,
It's so good.
another is a non-polar end, which is hydrophobic. Non-polar end is called hydrophobic. They hate water. So polar end likes water,
Like offended, like I
non-polar
said
end
something. I was like,
hates water, hydrophobic. And if the hydrophobic interaction, this hydrophobic interaction is much greater than the polar end, which is the hydrophilic interaction, then basically molecule will not dissolve, although molecule is a polar. So
Are
that's
you
an
doing
exception,
something
right?
tonight or
We'll
not?
come back to
I
that.
don't know,
I'll
it's
explain
supposed to
because
be
so just
parents.
write down. Remember this scenario.
I might just
The
show
scenario could happen
They
when the
love
molecule
me.
is a
They don't
polar,
like me.
but it has a two ends. One is a polar end,
Are you
one is a
guys-
non-polar end. Non-polar
No.
end hates water, so hydrophobic.
Is that wrong?
Hydrophobic, water, phobic, fear. Hydrophobic.
Then don't
and if
go.
that
No, I
happens,
want to go.
then
I
molecule
love
may
playing
not
with the
be
kids.
soluble
That's my
in
thing.
water. We'll
But
come
it's
back
also
to this
because I'm
example.
breaking up with those kids.
And if it happens, the molecule will not be
I'm
soluble in water.
confused
That's
because
the insoluble in
you-
water, right? And examples will be
You
if
melt
take
my
alcohol,
brain when I try and
gas,
think about
and
the
heat.
shit
And we'll
you
discuss it.
say.
as a
Like-
molecular compound.
She said, I'm breaking up
right?
with those kids. I was like,
Next, basically we talked about the
I just
molecular
don't.
compounds.
She goes,
And as you know,
I don't wanna
the
be a
molecular
mom. I could
compounds,
never
you
be a
already
mom.
know
But I
that.
love
already-
playing with those
I'm not
kids.
going
Like,
to
I
go
do
again.
love playing with those
It's
kids because
already
they're not
discussed,
my little
and you already have it. Bicarbonate makes the molecular compounds,
You
not
would
the
be.
ionic compound.
like, I'm good with babysitting
Likewise,
kids,
we
but I
also
don't want
talked about
kids.
the-
You want to babysit my
We also talked about the saturated hydrocarbons. Carbon and hydrogen
Whoa.
She's Italian. Italians have a lot of
and
children.
hydrocarbons are
When I did that,
My
like,
grandma
Tik-
had 12
these
siblings.
hydrocarbons, the linear
when
or
I did that, like, little
cyclic
TikTok
hydrocarbons,
challenge
they could have a
thing,
saturated
like,
hydrocarbons, all single bonds,
Okay.
meaning the alkanes, the name is alkanes, and the all single bonds, they have the
You'll be
general
making more
formula
than
for
me. That's like
saturated hydrocarbons
That
is
would make around
CN,
90K.
H2N plus 2.
I mean, that's still good.
As an
Go
audiologist.
again, right? And that is CH4 methane,
I'm moving to
C2H6
Colorado.
ethane,
Well, I don't know why
C3H8
I
is a
put it
propane,
in
butane, etc., right? And the structure is export type, tetrahedral,
Yes.
9.5, and they are non-polar, therefore they are not soluble in water. We talked about
living in
it.
Colorado
You already
would
have
be
it.
fun.
Oh my
Next
God, I know
one,
all the forest
the
fires.
general formula of unsaturated hydrocarbons with a double bond.
But,
Yeah.
valid
And general
point.
formula
The
is
fact that I would have to up and
CnH2n
move
plus
it anytime.
CnH2n. N is the number of carbon.
I feel like you live that lifestyle
And
now,
the name of the
though, so I feel like
molecule
you're
is
fine.
alkanes. So alkanes,
It's like a
A-N-E-S,
forest fire. I might
are the
fucking
saturated.
die. Yay!
Alkanes,
But that would be so easy to memorize.
A-L-K-E-N-E-S, is the double bond. Molecule is the
That's
double
what
bond.
the
And that
She's
includes
not wrong.
ethylene or ethene,
Realize Jenna
ethylene,
died in
right?
the forest fire.
Ethylene,
Burned, bitch,
and
burned.
propene, butene,
Let it
ethene,
burn.
ethene,
Let it
etc.
burn.
You already know the
Let
structure
it
of the
burn.
last time, last one is- The structure is H3 type. On an
There's
H3
some
type,
frozen apples in
the
the fridge
triangular
from the
planar,
freezer.
120 degrees. But because of the double bond,
Should've opened the
they have a
freezer.
1 pi bond, and that will have rippling effect to the sigma bonds. Therefore, bond angle is a little less, about 117.3 degree, 3 degree. And we talked about it why,
It's on the
right?
top shelf on the
And
left.
molecules are non-polar. Why non-polar? Carbon is 2.5, hydrogen is 2.1. 2.5 minus 2.1 is basically less than 0.5. So all hydrocarbons are
The general
non-polar.
formula of
Therefore, they are
unsaturated
insoluble in water.
hydrocarbons
They are
is a
soluble
double
in non-polar
bond.
solvent, right? Because that's basically we say non-polar molecule will dissolve in non-polar solvent. Last but not the least of the hydrocarbon is the
Can you go
argon.
back to the slide really quick?
This one you already had, but kept it with you.
The one before that,
Leave
please.
these out to dry, they
No
can
problem,
become.
no problem. You already know the structure of this. Ethylene, right? You know the structure of propene, butene, pentene, etc., etc. So please look at your note. I'm just clarifying that slide I split into many slides basically. That's basically it is. Right? All right. So the next one, the last unsaturated hydrocarbon is with a triple bond. The triple bond. And the general formula is, you already know that, I already gave you earlier, CnH2n minus 2. When N is the number of carbon atoms
I
in the
have
molecules.
$17.
And the blanket name of this molecule is called alkyne.
Well, I do have that
So
money, but not until
alkanes,
next week.
ANES, saturated, all single bond.
And I have $60 in
Alkenes,
quarters.
double bond. Alkynes, triple bond. And we talked about the ethine, right? Ethine or acetylene.
I'm curious to
And you
see
know
if
the
I can
structure of
actually
this?
do 9 DoorDash
Propine,
orders on a
And
Friday night.
pentyne, hexyne,
I think
heptyne.
so.
and it can
I
go
need to
on
get
and
in
on
it
and
so
on.
she can get her $400.
And the structure of this molecule is H2 type.
That's a good
It's a
friend.
linear.
I
And
need to
whatever
get
you
my
do,
shit together.
it is two
Molly, get your
lone
shit
pairs,
together.
two pi bonds.
Not
Therefore,
us,
whatever you
finish.
do, molecule will rotate, but the bond angle will never change. It's 180 degrees. And molecule
That's
1 second
what's
is a
really
polar,
good.
carbon is
That's a
2.5,
good friend.
hydrogen is 2.1.
Well, yeah,
Molecule is a
I kind
non-polar,
of joined like
therefore
because of
it
her
is
and I
soluble in
making
water,
money, so
but
like.
soluble in
You
polar
realize the
solid.
amount that like you
Polar
only
solid.
make about like
Right?
17
So that thing we basically talked about it. Last
In 3
but
months.
not least, this
That's
one
good.
is most important. You must remember. If you have any
You can DoorDash
questions,
in
please
your
talk.
area.
Please ask me.
I know.
I already gave you some idea
Okay.
about the alkyl groups, but I have to go through again.
Actually,
The
take Molly's
general
story.
formula
Molly
of an
can do
alkyl
it.
group
And you better be as
is
good as I am to her.
CnH2n plus 1, and it
Yeah,
is
we are,
represented
yes.
by R group. And
You're, like, scared
this
for a second.
alkyl group is derived from mostly
Do you ever use the red
alkanes,
card they send you?
Yeah, I
ANES.
use it all the time.
Remember the general formula of
what?
alkene.
Trying
Alkanes.
to pay for things.
CnH2n
For
plus 2.
Food.
Take one
Do
hydrogen
people
off,
do that?
you get the alkanes. Alkanes. And therefore, remember, we talked about this one. You tell me the alkyl group because I already told you. So if the molecule is the methane, what is the name of the alkyl group?
I was like, Mom,
If
you're
the
all-
molecule is methane, CH3, please tell me the name of the alkyl group. Alright, and the formula. Likewise, if you take,
Do you get a video for running down?
right,
No.
anyone can chip in. We have a CH3,
What happened?
CH2,
Running down the lane.
alright,
Oh.
and CH3, and tell me the
Was she
name
sliding?
of the alkyl group.
She was not wearing shoes.
What's the
Molly
name of
said
the
she
alkyl
was
group?
I went,
If you
she's
have
not wearing
methane?
shoes.
The CH4, what's the name of the alkyl group?
Do they have
Yes.
doggy
Is
bullies?
it methyl?
See?
Alright, let me write down. Yes, of course.
She
Please,
has to wear
please
boots
help
to
me
go to
here.
Florida.
So methyl, or methyl, whatever it is,
Boots?
methyl group, and represented as CH3.
No, like she has to wear boots because the
Fine.
Florida sun's too
Fine
hot
means
for
the
the
hydrogen is
car.
taken off. So you can put
So she has
anything
to
you
wear
want like
boots.
here.
I'm excited
Instead
to
of
get
hydrogen, you can put a
You
OH
need two
group,
pair.
you can put a halogen group, and the molecule will be
So
different.
1, 2, 3,
So
4.
that's a methyl group.
Oh no.
Next one, please.
Usually doggy boots come in things before.
Next
My
one.
dog has boots for
Ethel?
our pool.
Let me write down.
Because he's got long
Please
ass
don't
nails
change
and
it.
we have
Ethel,
a pool. so
CH3,
break our pool.
CH2, and a line. Yeah.
Okay, does it matter which hydrogen, like, loses one, I guess? Like, could it be CH2, CH3?
Oh, but was it funny?
Oh my god,
Is it always the
I was
latter
pregnant
part?
again.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it's a symmetrical molecule. It doesn't matter which one you take it. Yeah.
Wow, October 2nd.
Okay, is that for all?
Today's the 23rd.
all alcohols? Or is it just
What?
I have to write that paper.
As for these
Leo.
two, the third one is coming. Yes,
Downstairs.
The
The apology paper.
right now.
I'm
The
having
third
late
one.
year. That's
Yeah.
due tonight.
Please do the third one. But ethyl group, you can have any way you want.
How many
You
words
can
does it
have
have
a
to be?
CH line, CH2, CH3, CH3, CH2 line.
Wow.
Either way is fine. But this one is not fine.
I want to
It is
see if my
three
other
carbon.
friends are going to swipe
1,
up and
2,
invite
and
me to
3.
something. That's
Tell
why
me
that's posted.
the
Oh.
first one.
I was like, I just said,
First
are
one.
we doing something tonight? And she posted, anyone want to do anything tonight on
Because
our private
I want
story?
to see if Shane or Marcy or Jess
Yeah,
or
then
Bria will
next
say
is you
something.
send
to
the
me.
propofol,
Because
and I'll give the structure.
do you realize what happened last night and I didn't get invited?
Propofol, and will be CH3. You can take other way, you can take this side too, but I'm taking from right hand side, it's alright. We're all right handed. Some of them left handed, doesn't matter. CH2. Yeah. Propofol. right? So you take the hydrogen
God
from
damn, I hope
this
that's a
end or
lot.
this end, doesn't matter. Molecule is the same thing. It's a propyl group. If you take the hydrogen from carbon number 2, what will happen? You can take the carbon
Nobody
number 2
invited me to
and take
anything.
the hydrogen from carbon number 2. That's a good question, basically. You just asked 3 minutes ago. Someone asked me.
I would have
So
too.
if you take the carbon hydrogen from CH from this inside, the second carbon number 2,
No, bitch.
1, 2, 3, carbon number 2, what will happen?
She was just like, I'll hang out with you.
You take
Ew.
the
Would it change the
Do
structure
you lick
of
my
it?
toe?
Oh, they all read it and nobody
It
said
will.
anything.
so
So now I'm
CH3,
going to take a violin chord and
See?
shove it up my ass.
H,
Did you say a violin
and
chord or the
CH.
stick? Like the stick with the cord on it.
That'd be a bow.
Boa.
No,
She
bow.
said the
That's
stick.
right.
She
So
said
this
like the
one
string.
and
I was
this
like
one
the
are
string
not
of the
the same.
violin. You're gonna put that
These
up
or these two are not the same.
Called piping.
So one you took the hydrogen from the terminal, from the
She was
terminal
so
carbon,
confident in it.
this one, either one, doesn't matter. And this one you took it from the middle. So this cannot be
Treasure
propyl.
just sides.
So what is this?
I felt
It is called, please don't change it, okay? If you're changing, it's called isopropyl.
Are you going to psych class?
Isopropyl.
Nope. Are you
Iso.
going to math class?
So whenever you have like this,
Now I had it in my
you have
mind.
iso.
Do I need to actually do some homework in the
Iso-
meantime, though?
propyl.
Yes.
Isopropyl.
I'd like to do like
Please
9
remember.
DoorDash orders tonight
Isopropyl.
and see
So
how I
propyl
do.
for carbon number
Because I need to
3,
do like 9 every Friday and
you get
Saturday
a
for the
2
next 90 days
different
to get
alkyl
you.
groups. One is the normal group, normal, the propyl group.
No, because
Another
one,
one
my
is
mom brought up
isopropyl.
actually quite a good
On
point.
carbon number 4, you get even more.
I do need
many
new
more.
tires on
For
my
example,
car. So
let's say
driving
carbon
all
number
of
4.
only 2.
Let's say
Only 2.
carbon number
It's
4
not
here.
both of them,
So
and
carbon
it's
number
not my
I have
four,
low
house.
tire pressure
And I'll
and
give
all
you
I do
one,
is
which are
drive.
very important one.
Yeah,
okay?
but that's something you can
CH.
fix for free.
CH2.
Mine's $300.
You give me the first, give me the name of the molecule, and give me the first one,
My mom's
first
like, you can
instinct,
get new tires for Christmas. I was
first
like, I
alkyl
mean,
group that you want to make.
That's a weird Christmas gift.
The first instinct, we take the
that's
hydrogen
one I
from
don't have to
terminal,
pay for.
CH3. So now,
And
tell
I'm
me,
broke.
if you
I
take
haven't
the
been this
hydrogen
broke
from
in a
this side or
while,
this
not
side,
gonna
doesn't
lie.
matter. They're all the same thing. So you can make
No,
CH3.
not really.
Sucks to suck.
Like over the
Right?
summer, I never
CH2.
worried about it because I constantly had at least $3 grand in my bank
CH2.
account. At least.
Girl, the
Mostly
most I've
over
seen is
4.
grand in mine.
CH2
No,
That's
Alright.
the most I've ever
Line
seen
is the
because I
phone, in
buy.
fact,
Oh my god,
right?
my closet is
So you
funded
can
by
do like
me.
this way.
Me
So that's the
only.
one group.
Because when I
Tell me what's
started
the name
getting a
of
job,
this
I started realizing
What's the
that
name
I
of
could
this
buy
molecule?
clothes that
What's
I
the name?
wanted for me, and my mom didn't buy
What's the
me
name of this
probably
molecule?
like bullshit clothes. So, like my mom's like, I don't
Yes.
like that. I'm like,
What's
too
the name
bad.
of this
When you
molecule?
start buying my clothes, then you can decide. And she's like, okay,
Will
then
it
I'll buy
be
you clothes. So she's
isobutyl?
buying me jeans. She's like,
No,
"Buy me
no,
clothes."
name of the molecule. CH3,
So,
CH2,
in
CH2,
all honesty,
CH3.
I'm
What's the
really
name?
winning.
Butane.
If I want to dress like a
Butane.
slut, I'll pay for it.
Alright.
Shouldn't be
Butane,
that
that's right.
So
Butane.
she's really cheap.
Yeah, butane. And so this one is, what's the group then?
My mom, I bought a new bralette and my mom was with me. She's like,
It's a
when did you
butyl
start
group.
wearing these? I was like, Mom,
First
I
one
have
doesn't
5
change.
pairs.
Butyl group.
I have
Butyl
5, not
group.
pairs, but like I have like
Butyl
5 bralettes.
Now, I can also write like this.
She's like,
So watch me. So I'm taking the hydrogen from
you dress like
the-
this. I was like, no,
this
I
one.
always dress like this.
I wear
sweatpants and a t-shirt
all the damn time.
CH and
Look at her play with her
CH3.
apple. You like your apple? You like your apple?
And the line.
She's like, no, I'm just trying to make you happy.
So I'm taking the hydrogen from the second carbon from the left, from the right. So what is that one? Tell me what is this one? What's the name of this?
This dude talks too much.
Yeah?
Hi, Finley.
Is it isobutyl?
Call him right
That is correct. Absolutely right.
No, we're not.
Absolutely right. Iso.
It's hard.
Butyl. Yes. 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 Very good. Iso. Butyl. Exactly just like the first one, the profile. Isopropyl. Now, you can take the hydrogen from the this way. Let me put it another way. CH3.
Write your paper.
C. CH3. And the top is CH3 also. Remember, the molecular formula is not changing. Only the orientations are changing. The configurations are changing. What is this? What is this one? CH3, C, CH3, and CH3. The number of carbon is the number of hydrogen is the same, 9. Carbon number 4, 9. Carbon number 10, minus 1.
No,
Same thing.
Liz.
They don't look like it. They
not
look,
going to
they
be
don't look
productive.
like neither one of these. This is the butyl
I'll be
group,
fine.
isobutyl group. What is this? What is this one? Yeah? What is this one? It's called tertiary butyl group. Tertiary butyl. T-E-R-E-I-A-R-Y. Tertiary butyl group. Tertiary butyl group. Right? It is also known as T-butyl group.
Well, that girl can't try to
So what
change
is
my depression now.
T-butyl? And that's T for tertiary.
When she was a kid.
Yeah, she's
T-butyl.
trying to change my freaking.
Alright? So once you go to the carbon
Oh my
number
God, it's Franklin's
3 and
birthday.
4,
Happy
3 and
birthday.
onwards, the number of alkyl groups changes. Number of alkyl groups increase.
I love that.
Number of alkyl groups increase dramatically. Basically for that, you can see for propane, you got 2. Propyl, isopropyl. Butane, you got 3, and I did not show you the other one. There's another one. But you don't have to remember. At least you just try to make some analogy with isopropyl, isobutane called secondary butyl group. Don't worry about it. So butane has 4 different R groups. One is the normal butyl, normal that's a butyl group, isobutyl group, and T-butyl group. T-butyl group. You'll see them later on when we'll make the alcohols and other compounds. So that's why you should know. Alright, so that's basically it. Now, as you probably know, so CnH2n plus 1 is the alkyl group. And if you add the hydrogen back, you get the
Baby
hydrocarbons.
toes are so
So RH are the hydrocarbons, right? In terms of R. R means the alkyl group. And all hydrocarbons are non-polar. They are insoluble in soluble, insoluble in water, soluble in polar salt. Do you have any question about the alkyl groups? Because the alkyl groups are the one we'll be using now on.
I just have.
Yeah.
My room.
Hey, so back to what you were saying about like the T-butyl and isopropyl and isobutyl. Those just come from the fact that the carbon it's above 3 and 4, regardless of the
Well, we live in a. We live.
molecule is symmetrical.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. Okay. All right, now let's go to the cyclic hydrocarbons. Remember, hydrocarbons are 2 types. We talked about it, right? And the linear, and that we already finished all of them, at least many of them, quite a bit. And the next one is the cyclic hydrocarbons. Cyclic hydrocarbons. Cyclic hydrocarbons. All right, the first cyclic hydrocarbons, if you want to make a cyclic toast, you have to have at least 3. So it starts with the propane. So now the first one looks like this. All right, it's a triangle. So this is your carbon.
Oh shit.
This is your carbon, and this is your carbon. Hydrogen, 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 and hydrogen, and hydrogen. Right? You just add those hydrogen group, hydrogen atoms, like this. And the other one, you can go on like this, all right? Okay. Who can give me the name?
Yeah.
Give me the name.
That's why we're telling them.
You can do it. I know I can do it. You can give me the name first and the formula. What's the molecular formula? Let us go from fast way. So molecular formula, because that's the easy one. What's the molecular formula?
That reminds me of a.
What's the molecular formula?
I want a relationship like Edward and.
C3H6.
No, I don't.
Yeah, thank you. C3H6. Very good. Name.
Propene.
Reading a story.
Very close.
That's my balls.
But remember, propane is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. The linear. Yeah, it is a cycle. It is a cycling molecule. So how do you do that? But you're right. You have, your first part, one part is right. You have to add something in the front. What is that? Cyclopropane. Yeah. But you're right. This is the propane because carbon number 3 and it's a cyclo, so cyclopropane, cyclopropane. Now tell me this one. Let's continue like this. This one, okay? What is this one? These are the hydrogens, all hydrogens, right? All hydrogens. You can write it. You don't write, this is the hydrogen. Give me the molecular formula and the name. Yeah? Keep going. Come on. What's the name? What's the molecular formula?
C4H8.
Absolutely right. So C4H8. That's what I'm right. C4H8. Name? Name?
I like restarting worlds because
Yep. Cyclo what? Cyclo?
Shirley said I'm here for you.
Say it again.
I don't like when everything's
Cyclo?
Cyclobutane.
Butane. Carbon number 4. Carbon number 4 is butane. Cyclobutane. That is correct. Cyclobutane. Remember the butane is carbon number 4? So carbon number 4 is butane. Cyclo is a cyclic. Yeah. Next one. Next one.
turtle.
These are all hydrogens.
Why are there 3 turtles?
All hydrogens. If I don't write, they're all hydrogens. Huh?
Aw.
All hydrogen. Tell me the molecular formula.
Yep.
You can write those hydrogen, right? Yeah.
C5.
In the
Say it again. C5. You already said it. C5. H.
the water.
H10.
There are usually
Name?
squids in the water. Yeah, I know. You need to make a boat. I thought you saw
Cyclopentane.
Yeah, absolutely right. Please write this down. Cyclopentane. So write down. I'm not writing. You already know. Cyclopentane. Cyclopentane. A-N-E though. Cyclopentane and cyclohexane. 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 These are all hydrogen, huh? They're all hydrogen. Yeah, right? They're all hydrogen. I'm not writing all of them. Please write down. They're all hydrogens. Yeah. Cyclohexane. Yep.
What was the name for that one again?
Which one?
Honestly,
C5 or
I
C10? C5 or C6?
C5H10.
I will.
Cyclopentane.
I'm confused for cyclobutane. Wouldn't it be cyclobutene because that's the molecular formula for C4H10 is butene, not butane.
Yeah, because they're cyclic. They're not, they're all saturated. It's saturated. These are saturated.
They're all
Yeah, they're all saturated. No double bond here. No double bond. Yeah. No double bond. Yeah. Cyclopentane. Next one is cyclohexane. A-N-E. It's a saturated, no double bond. No double bond. That's why they are called A-N-E. A-N-E. Remember A-N-E stands for the saturated? Yeah. Alright. So what is the general formula of saturated cyclic hydrocarbon? General formula.
Bruh.
General formula of saturated hydrocarbon. Cyclic hydrocarbon. Cyclic hydrocarbon.
What was the reason?
Go on,
What
tell
was
me.
the reason? Eggs. My brother's
You already have it.
NH2N.
in the
CnH2n. Excellent. Very good. Very good. N is the number of carbon atoms. Yeah, name is the carbon atoms. But remember, for the linear alkenes, is the general formula is CnH2n, alkenes, but this is cyclic. So this is cyclohydrocarbons or alkanes, CnH2n. Now, let's go to this one. And you give me the name. I'm not going to write it probably because you are going through. Ah,
Here's mine.
and he'll give me the general formula as well. Yes.
Where'd you get all this shit? Oh, hold on.
this. And this. What are these? What's the name of this? Rest of them are hydrogen, huh? H, only one H, or two,
Here,
because you have a double one.
I strip mine.
H,
Ew,
H.
it's giving me like weird feelings.
This,
Yeah. Like the way it
H.
looks.
please give me the name.
I go to the real mine.
Give me the general formula. Give me the molecular formula, and then we'll give the name. Yeah? What's the molecular formula?
C3H6 or H. Yeah.
C3H?
6.
Oh, I didn't know 6.
Oh, 4.
I just realized I don't have anything to protect myself.
This one?
Yeah. So this is going back home.
Next one? C4? H?
I forgot how much this
6.
drains my battery.
Next one?
Why is it
Next
just
one?
I like the cut, dude.
This is just circle. Oh yeah, another battery to go.
Yeah? What's the next one? C5? H?
Our sky.
8.
Our sky.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah,
This
it's
one?
present data you can count. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Is it 10?
Yep. So what's the general formula?
It's not it.
CN, H.
If you walk across this,
What's the general formula?
don't fall off.
What's the general formula?
H2n minus 2.
That is absolutely right. Yeah. Yes. 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 Absolutely right. The last one. Last one. So name. Oh, we didn't give the name. What's the name of this? The C3H4. What's the name?
So look at this.
What's the name? Don't forget to use the cyclo. Cyclo what? Cyclo what?
In real life, I do too, because I have
Propane.
You recommended
Propane or propene? What did you say?
10 minutes before Molly saw me outside.
Propane.
Propene. Thank you. Propene. E-N-E. E-N-E indicates the double bond. E-N-E indicates the double bond. That is correct. E-N indicates the double bond. Yeah. Yes. And so next one, I'm not going to write it. You can write for me. Cyclo.
Is it propane?
Propene is the carbon number 3. The first one. Second one.
Butane.
Butene. Butene. But. E-N-E. Butene. Next one. Cyclo.
Pentene.
Pentene. Thank you. Next one.
house like this, and then literally this whole thing was a mountain.
Cyclohexene.
Part of it out.
That is correct. That is correct. And now the last group of these molecules is this one.
So sorry.
1,
Girl.
2.
Apologize.
Aww. It's a cute little
1,
setup across the road.
2. And you tell me the name, okay? And then the general first molecular formula. This and this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is
Especially during
or,
quarantine.
sorry, are the compounds that use the formula CnH2n minus 2, are those unsaturated because they require double bonds?
Yep.
Okay.
But remember, for the linear is they are called the linear also have a CnH2n minus 2, right? CnH2n, right? CnH2n for the linear, and for the cyclic CnH2n minus 2. because carbon-carbon bonds, so they're cyclic. Yeah. The next one. Tell me the molecular formula. Molecular formula of this one is C3H1.
Because pig is like seeds, right? What is pig? Pig is
Yeah?
beetroots or carrots. I'm trying to find a pig.
Yes.
Where'd it go? There it is. Aww.
C3H2.
They like this too. Come on.
Two.
There you go.
Thank you. Next one. C4H.
Those are two
1,
masses.
2, 3, and 4. You cannot have a hydrogen here because you already have a 4 bonds.
This is a force breeder.
Yes.
Anyone else not good food?
C4H.
How to feed them?
Four.
They're animals.
Very good. This one.
Okay, brother.
C5H.
Those very minimal.
6.
6, right? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And then last one. C6H. C6H.
8.
2, 4, 6, and 8. Yeah. What's the general formula? General formula. Cl
Huh?
H.
2n minus 4.
Yeah, I got that too.
Very good. You're very good. Yeah, that is correct. Name. What's the name? What's the name of the first one? Cyclo.
I'm done with Minecraft.
What's the name of the cyclo? First one, cyclo.
Bro, I need to
Is it
tell last
propane?
night I had heartburn.
Propane. Propyne. Propyne. You already get the cyclopropene, the top
Hey,
one.
when you get out of
the middle
quarantine,
one.
my mom, we are
So
out. Girl, why didn't you say
cyclopropyne.
so? I need contact
Next one,
solution.
cyclo.
Jenna, you only come when you
propyne.
need something. Me, I know.
Cyclopentine. Antyne in the end.
Fancy,
Cyclohexyne.
Mama? You know the one that's talking to you right
YNE.
now? The one that brought you a bunch of toys?
Now, these molecules
When your dog turns
just
into you.
cyclic. So if you look at the structure of this molecule, this is very highly condensed. Carbons, hydrogens are so crowded. This has a little bit of space. This has more space. This has plenty of space. So the stability of cyclopropane is the least stable. So if you compare the stability, please write down very
My
important
mom
one.
said, please bring
The
treasure when you
stability
come."
of the cyclic compound, stability, meaning the how the molecule is stable or not. That's what
Ow.
it is. Stability is
Treasure, do you think
hexane, cyclohexane
Go
is
ahead,
very
use
much
it,
much
use
greater,
it.
much stable than compared to the cyclopentane.
I might just go home for the next
Cyclopentane is more stable as compared to the cyclobutane, and cyclopropane is the least stable.
Oh, you're hurting.
6 indicates the carbon number.
Ow.
So cyclohexane has the greatest stability as compared
She
to
just sits.
cyclopentane.
Treasure, up.
Cyclopentane has the greatest stability or greater stability as compared to 4. Cyclobutane. Cyclobutane has a greater stability as compared to cyclopropane. So bigger the molecule, the cyclic molecule is more stable.
You threw
More
yourself on
stable.
like head. You tried to throw
Everyone
yourself on
okay?
head space.
Do you have any question? This is it for the cyclic compound. There are many cyclic compounds you can make. You can put some alkyl group here, alkyl group there, and based on that the molecular structure will be different, names will be different. We're not going to go to complexity. We're going to go simple molecules, cyclic hydrocarbons. There are 3 different types: alkanes, cycloalkanes,
Jump up there.
cycloalkenes, and cycloalkynes. General formula CN. Yes.
She was like, Mom,
Can you go over the name for the bottom, the PN82MF4 again?
This one?
Treasure's like,
Yes.
what are you doing?
So cyclopropyne.
Oh.
Cyclo All of them are cyclo, so definitely COICLO added.
I can't think
That's
of it.
propyne. PROPYNE.
Hi to your mom.
Next one is cyclobutane. BUTYNE. Next one is cyclopentane. So COILO
It's okay, she'll be fine.
PNTYNE. Last one
It's
is
not that difficult.
cyclohexane.
Just like, oh shit, Molly's coming.
XYNE.
Thank you so much.
No, I will
Dude,
sit
you're
and I
welcome.
will wait for
Anybody else have any questions? Must be
Okay, thank you. So
Yours in.
we were given like the formula C5H10.
Okay, you just
How
bought
are we
for your
supposed to
husband,
know
okay?
if it's cycle
Yeah, you just go.
versus
He's like,
sure.
up!
the linear,
Yeah, the linear one.
Her nose
the
is very big.
linear and unsaturated compound. That's a very good point.
So she was
You on.
near
You
an
have to give the name first. You have to give the name, then the formula.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're not
Her.
gonna give us something that says like C5H10 and then like ask us to
tit.
No,
She said, "I wanted some milk."
No, you have to just give us the
Oh,
formula,
treasure?
and that can coincide with the linear versus cyclic. So you have to say it is a cyclic compound.
Flower.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, thank you.
She licking it.
Anybody else has any question?
Would you lick your own period?
About the hexane. So it's only more stable because of the number of carbons, right?
Give your mom like, no,
The
no.
bigger the size.
You know what I want?
You're not
The
hot
bigger
like
the
grab a
size,
cooch.
bigger the size, the
He's
more
like, mom, stop grabbing my
size. All right.
fine.
If you remember, I don't know how to remember many of you. If you remember,
like
do you remember
that
that
too.
Tesla? Tesla is the name of the scientist. So he had a very interesting
I did not want to draw
ideas
that.
about 6 and
Molly,
3.
what is this?
3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9.
Girl, why
Why
you
6
hang
is
out like
most
that?
stable, 3 is less stable, 9 is the
nibble
most
on your
stable.
mom's
Anyway, don't worry about it. Don't go there. All right, very good.
You're
Very
not
fine. So
seeing
anybody
the
else have any questions? If not, I'm going to give
Girly.
you the applications.
Are you
the
trying to
hydrocarbons
kill
in
your
medicines,
mother?
applications to hydrocarbons. And you
Yes,
must remember,
you.
please write it down for me. All right, uses of alkanes, saturated hydrocarbons. The patients which have
Do you
Right.
know Vito?
patients
No, I
which have a oxidative stress syndrome,
Go to the apple?
like smoking.
Oh,
offense to
okay.
anyone.
Don't bite me.
You can smell the breath of the alkanes.
Girl, what
You
are
smell.
you doing?
And one such smell, if you want to smell, if you see what is the smell of the hydrocarbons, you know the propane gas, right? Whenever you use a barbecue or something like that, you use the propane gas. Let me see the smell. So it has some smell there. Usually the hydrocarbons don't have a smell. They have some sulfur compounds. But yes, alkanes have something smell like not pungent, but there's some smell that can come from the people who smoke. But no offense anyone. People who are suffering from HIV infections, they also smell alkanes. And the people suffering from inflammatory bowel syndrome
Like, oh,
or
thanks, Mom.
IBS, they also have some sort of the smell of alkanes come from their mouth as well. No offense to anyone, it's just a natural phenomenon, right? And that's the disease itself causing these things. Uses of alkenes, ENES, right? The double bond. The polypropylene glycol, very important molecule. It is used almost everywhere. Polypropylene glycol is used as a solvent in many pharmaceuticals. Many those compounds they dissolve because it's a very good solvent. In fact, all those compounds, the drugs, the RX drugs, they use very small amount. So what is the major component? They basically use the polypropylene glycol to dissolve it. Any kind of liquid drugs that you take in a mouth, they have plenty of polypropylene glycol. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't digest. It goes from one end to other end, but the molecule inside there, the drugs is dissolved in this molecule, so it helps. And that is including oral, injectable, topical formulations. You just name it. This is also has a general anesthesia. They use the compound that dissolves with this one. Ethene is used for ripening fruits. If you do the gardening or if you have seen it, if you have a tomato, the color in the initial color is green. Then as it goes on, the time goes on, then basically it becomes a yellow. The ethylene concentration increases, and when it goes to the peak, it becomes a red, very ripe red color. So and flowering also. So flowering could be the all this flowering will be to the ethene. C3H, C3H3 is a ethane, and C3H4, sorry, C2H4, C2H6 is the ethane, C2H4 is ethene. Use of alkynes, some pharmaceuticals like contraceptive drugs, norethindrol, antiviral drugs, efavirenz, antifungal drugs, terbinafine. You do not have to remember those names, but if you do find, those are used alkyne derivatives. Alkyne derivatives. These are natural compounds, by the way. These are natural compounds. These are natural compounds that are routinely used as a class. All right. Anybody has any question? Anybody answers any question? Yes, I have only 2 minutes. Right? So next molecule that we talk about is as follows. This molecule is a molecular compounds, alcohol.
Professor Donna,
Yeah?
could you go back to the last slide for just a second?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
We all come. Right. Next molecular compound is alcohols. So we talked about alkanes. Alkanes, linear cyclic. Alcohols, we're talking the linear first. We are not going to go details of the cyclic, there's so many of them. So linear alcohols have 3 different types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. General formula for alcohols is ROH. R is the alkyl group. Remember, it could be methyl, propyl, isopropyl, butyl, isobutyl, isobutyl, etc., etc. So R is the alkyl group, OH is alcohol. So primary alcohol, the examples are, primary alcohols are always written like this. It must end with a CH2OH. So RCH2OH is a primary alcohol. Example, if a CH3OH, the methanol. Who can give me the next name? Methanol. Why methanol? Methyl, remember
Yo,
methanol,
y'all watch
right?
Twilight?
O-L.
We've watched it
Methanol.
together. I know this, but look.
Methanol. Methane, all.
It's
Methanol.
11:50.
Methane, all. Take the E off. Methanol, methanol.